So many of you I've already met. My name is James Mendolia. I'm the director of the fashion marketing program, and I was super excited because this spring semester, Parsons the School of Fashion has collaborated with Styletag, and we're going to be working on this weekender competition. And we ask that you all participate, which will be a really great opportunity. As many of you are fashion students, it's an opportunity that comes along once in a lifetime where a company sort of asks you to participate during Fashion Week and using your creative eye. So I have Sasha and Nicole from Styletag, and they're going to be outlining all the details of the competition. In addition, what we're doing now is it's going live stream to Paris, hello, and also to the FM students that study online only. When we're finished with this session, it'll be recorded, archived, and then you can also have the opportunity to be able to go back and look at the archived link so that you can look at any of the details. So it'll be a really great way to make sure that it's reinforced, since I know many of you, this is the week before classes, and some of you are still not in that school mode yet. So without any further ado, I want to introduce Sasha and Nicole, and they're going to give you the outline and the details of this competition. Thank you.
Great. Hi, guys. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming out on this very cold day. We really appreciate you coming. We are the content team at Styletag. Again, my name is Sasha, and this is my colleague, Nicole. And we're really excited to be here kicking off the Parsons Styletag Weekender Challenge. So we kind of wanted to give you a little bit of background about Styletag and then jump into the competition, give you all the guidelines that you're going to need to know. And we're ready to get started February 6th, so it's coming up soon. So let's just get started here with our PowerPoint. So the Styletag Parsons Challenge is going to be taking place starting February 6th, which is the first day of New York Fashion Week, and then extends through the beginning of March. So we really are looking to kick off when things are rocking and rolling in New York on the fashion scene. It's a great time, I think, for all of us to kick this off, and there's going to be tons going on here, as you guys all know, tons going on around the world. So we think this is going to be a phenomenal opportunity for everyone to pay attention to what's going out there on the street, just kind of see who's walking around the streets of New York, and check out what's happening, and report back to us. So just a bit of background about the challenge. So the Station to Station Weekender Challenge is it's an image-making competition that's based around trends and trend spotting. And one of the best parts about it, we think, is that there are cash prizes, which I'll tell you more about at the end, but they're very, very good cash prizes. So we really are giving you guys a lot of incentive to do your best work, go out there and really wow us with your images and your trend spotting acuity. In the challenge, you're going to be asked to create and upload original photos to Styletag. And Styletag, for those of you who may not have had a chance to check it out, is a brand new fashion sharing mobile app, which we think it's really cool, and we hope you guys enjoy using it. It's brand new. It just launched in December, and it's already being used by tons of members of the fashion industry, from designers to photographers, editors, bloggers, lots of names I'm sure you're going to recognize, stylists, people that own stores, buyers, models, and even brands have been jumping on board. So it's a cool kind of digital community for the fashion industry, and we really are excited to have you guys joining in. You really are the lifeblood of the fashion industry, and we really want your input beyond the challenge. We really want you guys to be involved in the Styletag community and feed your positive energy and give people who are using Styletag a lot of really wonderful things to look at, and a lot of great information. So we're going to be actually asking you to create a profile, which I'll get into a bit more later on. But we're also going to be aggregating all of your entries via one single Parsons profile page, which is going to be kind of this cool catch-all page for the best of the best. And we're then going to be pushing that out via our social media channels, really giving a lot of promotional support to the Parsons page, because we really want to make this competition really highly visible and make sure that the fashion world knows about what's going on and knows what you're contributing. So we're really excited to make this an opportunity for you guys to be able to expose your work to the global fashion community. Okay, now a bit more about Styletag. So as I mentioned, Styletag launched very recently in December, and it's a social networking, curation, and discovery platform. So it's a bit unusual. It brings together a lot of really cool elements in one place, and it's mobile optimized. So you can have all these cool tools kind of in your pocket wherever you go. Really, we've developed it to allow fashion lovers like yourselves to find and share ideas, products, brands, trends, all the new stuff that you're hearing about, the new stuff that you're designing and putting out there for other people to discover. And we really, have created this with a very clean, very designer-friendly interface, which, I hope you guys will agree once you check it out. That really lets fashion shine through and really puts the focus on the images that are being created and shared through the app.
And sorry, as you'll see, we've got, that's Miranda on top, but within these bloggers, some of these girls have, 500,000 followers, and they're, extremely prominent within our industry. And as she said before, this will put Parsons, this will allow your page as well to be side by side with some of these unbelievable bloggers, from Song of Style to Saucy Glossy, who are truly so successful with affiliate marketing, with everything they do. They're really smart girls, and would also be, you'll see when you get onto Styletag, but you'll start to notice the bloggers that are more, that are posting more, and it would probably be interesting for you to even check out their blogs. They're really great at what they do, and they're bringing in a lot of cool brands to us, to the site.
Absolutely. There are a lot of really great people involved, so I think you're going to enjoy that part of it. And all of these great people that are involved, from the bloggers to students like you, all across the board, everyone is crowdsourcing all the content. So everything that you see in Styletag is created by users, which is really, we think, is a very cool thing. Okay, and then a little housekeeping detail. If you have an Android, if you have iOS, Styletag works on all of these platforms. If you have an iPad, you can use it on that. Again, it's mobile optimized, so we really encourage you guys to use it on a mobile device, but you can also access it through the web portal. And since we actually are using the laptop to run our presentation today, we'll take a look later at the web version. But you can, after the presentation, of course, download it to your phone and to your iPad, and check it out there. Okay. So as you guys know, being fashion savvy students, and we really think that street style is really the runway. I mean, obviously it's great fun to go to fashion shows and see what's going on there, but I think you'll agree, really interesting style starts even before the runway. It starts with people who are putting together cool, offbeat, unexpected looks. That's kind of where we think a lot of this originates. So that's kind of the focus of Styletag. It's to go, kind of before the glossy images that you see in magazines and things like that, and really get down to where style is really originating. So that's the focus of the app, and that's also the focus of this challenge. With New York Fashion Week coming up very, very soon, and then all the European fashion weeks following, soon thereafter, we really are challenging you guys to get out into the streets. Go out, into the streets of New York City, look around the hallways here, stand outside the tents at Fashion Week, go down to the Lower East Side and check out your favorite boutiques, and, go to places where really interesting style is originating. And that's where we think the interesting stuff is happening, and that's what our global community is interested in seeing from you guys. So again, we want you to get out there in search of inspiration, in search of the next big trends that are up and coming, and then utilize Styletag to share these photos, to share information about what you're seeing, and then report that back to Styletag's user base and let everyone know what's going on right here in New York and in Paris and elsewhere.
Right.
Okay, so of course, this is an image making competition and this is a photo sharing app, so photos and imagery are highly important. However, it's not all about the images. Savvy designers, fashion business people of all stripes, marketers, merchandisers, etc. We all need to know much more than just, what's a pretty look. Oops, am I not being loud enough? Oh, too loud. Okay, thanks. Successful fashion journalists do a lot more than just snap a photo, as you guys are all well aware. They interview their subjects. They really put a lot of value into learning about what's being worn, who's wearing it, where they're wearing it, where they've purchased these items, how they've put together a look. They want to know the details because that's really where the interesting story is, and that's what really tells marketers and merchandisers what direction we need to be heading in. So that's why this challenge isn't just about taking beautiful photos, although it is very much about beautiful photos. It's also about capturing accurate insights into the market. And that's one of the reasons why we've designed this challenge specifically for Styletag and Parsons, because you guys bring the insight and we provide the platform, which is designed to allow exactly this kind of reporting. And by contributing your images and your information, as we've been saying, you guys are participating not just in the challenge here, not just with the Parsons community, and not just with the Styletag community, but with fashion-interested people all around the world. You're going to see your images featured alongside posts from all the bloggers that Nicole's mentioned. Lots of names that I think you guys will know: Song of Style, Sea of Shoes, Eat Sleep Wear, Native Fox. We've got a lot of great girls who are on board, and guys as well. Designers like Christian Siriano and a lot of Parsons alums, celebrities, style influencers like Nicole Richie and Miranda Kerr, Miranda is one of our guest curators this week, so when you guys check out the app later on, you can see what she's been uploading to her Styletag page. And then we've also got some great street style photographers on board, including guys like On Abbott Kinney and Guier from Guierisms and some other really cool names. So again, as Nicole said, this is really a very cool platform for you guys to see your work represented up alongside some of the best in the industry. So we think, again, this is a really exciting opportunity for you guys to get visibility that you wouldn't have
Right.
through any other app. And we hope you enjoy that opportunity.
And you can also learn a lot, as I said before, from these girls and see how they take their work on their blog and they promote it within their social media platforms. There's a lot to really learn if you just want to dive into some of their networks and just see what's going on.
Absolutely. And here we just have a little quote from one of our favorite bloggers, which we wanted to share with you guys. Ame Song has been a big supporter of Styletag from the beginning and has hosted some events with us, and she's really awesome. And she says, if Instagram is to capture your moments and share it with the world, then Styletag is specifically for sharing anything fashion related, from trends to outfits to what you're coveting. So we love that quote. We think that encapsulates a lot of what Styletag's all about, and it couldn't come from a better source. So we just wanted to share that little tidbit.
And just while we're on this page, you could see that this shot doesn't include a face, which is fine. We know that some women might not want to have their photo taken, and there's other creative ways of capturing the outfit without doing your basic head-to-toe model look, so there are many ways around it.
Yeah, and we'll actually get into looking at some of the sample photos in a few minutes, and we can kind of go through like what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. But yeah, I mean, you as you can tell, you can just be creative, and there's a lot of opportunity there for that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the trend spotting portion of this. So as we mentioned, the challenge is about you guys going out into the streets and finding out what's going on here in New York City. At the same time, what's really cool about Styletag is that, it is digital, it's global, it's not limited by regionality. So as you're spotting trends here in New York or Paris or wherever else, folks in our audience are from, you'll also be spotting trends going on in real time from across the country and around the world. The app is, technically we've launched in the US, but we've already seen in the first, not even 2 months of our existence, this natural growth around the world because, fashion is a global phenomenon. And things that are happening here might be reflected elsewhere. Things that are starting off, in other countries might be trickling back here. And, the power of digital is that there's no boundary. So what we think is really cool about the app is that, it's really global trend spotting, all in one place. And we hope you guys see that when you start scrolling through. And all the information that you and the other Styletag users are inputting goes in not just to creating beautiful photo collages, but it also goes into a database that underlies all of the images that you see. And we've developed this algorithm that helps us kind of look at what trends are really getting to be big. And again, we'll kind of walk through and I'll show you how this actually works when we look at the website. But we have a feature called the Tag Cloud, which is basically a word cloud, which, are you guys familiar with word clouds? It's basically a trend cloud that kind of collects all the information that students like you, that users, bloggers, designers, everyone are inputting, and kind of identifies what's being input the most and defines those as the most popular and then kind of blows them up. So our word cloud is kind of a cool, it's a different kind of representation of what's trending. So you can look at the visuals, you can look at the word side of things, just multiple ways to kind of assess what's going on out there in the world. So again, we hope that part of it is something that you guys as fashion students find useful, and then it provides some context for the work that you're doing. And actually, why don't we'll click out of this for a second and pull up the website. So again, Styletag is it's mobile optimized, but since we unfortunately can't hook up my iPad for the presentation, we wanted to just take a quick look through at the web portal and give you a taste of what Styletag is all about. And just keep in mind, this is not exactly how it's going to look on a mobile device, but you can kind of get a sense. These are the sorts of images that people have been posting. These are brand new. These have come up since yesterday. I mean, as you can see, we've got some cool head-to-toe shots. We've got great close-up images. We've got people who are standing out on the street. We've got people who are at events. This is just to kind of give you a sense of what sorts of things are being submitted. And really to give you, the knowledge that you can really kind of, you can do all these things. You can shoot on your rooftop, you can shoot on the sidewalk, you can shoot on your stoop, you can shoot in your apartment. It's all fair game. So, and let me just click through some of these different features and give you a quick overview. And if you want to jump into, and we can kind of talk through. I was just going to say, you could also be creative in the sense that the girls represented right now on our feature wall, I don't think you'd see any pregnant or maternity looks, but that's all fair game too. I mean, that's, all about style, so we really are looking for anything and everything out there. We were actually, we were having a discussion yesterday about the number of mommy bloggers that we're seeing on the site. It's kind of a funny thing where all of a sudden we were like, oh, there are a lot of maternity looks popping up, or oh, there's a lot of kid fashion looks popping up. So again, it's kind of a cool real-time reflection of what's going out there, what's going on in the blogosphere. And they're not represented in this first tier, but there's certainly a lot of them in the app. So just to kind of give you, again, we'll do a deeper dive. So this is Saucy Glossy. She's a great blogger that we've been working with since the beginning, and she's actually helping to curate some of our content. So she's going to be looking at all of your incoming submissions, and she's going to be helping us kind of curate the best of the best, and moving over some of your submissions to the front feature wall. So you want to impress Saucy Glossy, and you can kind of use this as an example of a kind of an ideal post. So You can see her whole outfit here, and you can see, this various trends that she's representing. You can see that she's got kind of a sheer thing going on here. She's got the longer length skirt. She's got the peplum. We can go on and on. I'm sure you guys recognize more trends in this photo that are kind of that are relevant to what's going on right now. So she's gone in and submitted this photo, and she's tagged the items with information about where she bought each piece, so that it's entered into our database. And so other people can kind of take a look and say, oh, that's a mass market brand. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, they're both ASOS. Yeah, that's interesting. She sometimes does mixes of high-low, which is kind of cool to see. In this case, they're both from ASOS. But you can see how she's gone through and tagged these with relevant info, so that anyone who's looking at this, isn't just looking at the pretty picture, but they understand more of the background about how she put her look together. So that's kind of a quick just look at how the format of the page comes together once you've actually tagged with all this information. And we're going to go through the process of tagging in a second. I just wanted you to see kind of an ideal exemplary post.
And the majority of our exemplary posts actually feature high to low fashion. I mean, we've got from H&M and Converse mixed with a Celine bag, and I mean, we all know that that's how people dress today. They spend their money on their accessories, et cetera. So I mean, that you're going to see a lot of that, and we think that's really cool about our app. From hunter boots, mixed with a Chanel bag, it becomes really interesting.
Right, and again, this is obviously we're talking about the challenge, but let's also talk about shopping for 1 second, because that's the other point of the app. What we've tried to do with this app is to create a way to not just input the information, but also make it super easy to get looks that you love, which I think we all know social commerce, fashion commerce is really at an interesting moment right now. I think anyone who's involved in the fashion world knows how important it is to sell products, not only online, but to figure out how to sell on mobile. It's a huge thing right now, and trust me when I say every designer out there is trying to figure out how best to do this. And so what we're trying to do with the app is to give designers and brands a really easy way to make their products available to not just an audience close to home, but to a global audience. So once someone, a blogger, a designer, a brand has input this information, I'll just show you, it's very, very easy to go in and actually click through and shop key items. Okay, well that one's so popular that it's sold out. But you can see we've got this little shop interface. So we're trying to accomplish something on the trend-based side as well as on the social commerce side. All really, really interesting, really relevant areas for fashion students right now. So. So it's kind of a cool area. We think this is the next wave. There are a lot of apps that I'm sure you guys are aware of that are trying to do things that are similar. It's an interesting area right now for innovation, and we're interested to hear what you guys think of this portion of it too, and give us your feedback on the shopping side as well. Okay, so back to Styletag's website. So just again to kind of walk you through the different features. So this is the home feature wall, which is where we and our curation team go through all the incoming material from the previous day, the previous week, and we, with our expert curators, Saucy, Glossy, and our other celebrities and contributing bloggers and guest editors, pick our favorite images, the ones that we think are really inspirational, the ones that we look at them and we get really just jazzed up about it, the things that we think really are representing the best of what's going on in fashion right now. And so again, this is where we hope a lot of your images will end up prominently featured on our main wall. You can see there's a couple different categories here. Other than feature, we also have a popular category, which is, this is not curated, this is completely crowdsourced. This is images that get the most saves within a certain time period get bumped up to the very top. So this is kind of like a competition, a little mini competition within the competition.
Saves are the same as likes in Facebook world.
Right. you're saving it to a lookbook within the app. So again, you can see like 44 people loved this beautiful Oscar de la Renta dress. So that's kind of moving up to the top of the list. And then new is just an ongoing feed of all the new stuff that's coming in from all over the world. So this is really interesting. It's not curated, so you'll see sometimes it can be a little bit of a mishmash, but that's what's kind of cool about it. It's a bit rough. It's not varnished. It's not edited. You're seeing things coming in real time from real users. So, again, this could be a really cool place for you guys to do a lot of trend spotting. Yeah, we haven't even looked at this morning.
There are
so
some
there's a
that
lot of
don't
fun stuff coming
apply,
in.
exercise moves or what have you, but
Interesting. But again, like even for us, it's kind of cool to see what sorts of images people are uploading. We want to make sure that we're kind of addressing the needs of the users. So it's cool to see all these collages and how-tos in there, because obviously that's a big area right now. So anyway, you can look at these more obviously when you guys are on your phones later on. So let's now move on to, let's go to people. So again, Styletag is, it's a community, as we keep saying. And we want to make it easy for you guys to find other people to follow, to get inspired by. So this is the section to come to. It's people, and it's broken down into a couple different categories. So we've got featured people who are, generally speaking, our guest curators, our celebrities, our bloggers who are, with us for a certain period of time. We kind of bump them up to the feature wall. And we're also hoping to make some space on the feature wall for some of you guys. If you really wow us with your contributions, then we'd love to put some of your profiles up here next to our friends Miranda Kerr and Karen Britchick and all these girls. So that's kind of a cool little incentive as well, we think. In addition to features, we've got top sellers. So this is still kind of in development, but again, as I mentioned, there's a social commerce portion of this app that we think is really exciting. So we're encouraging people to include purchase links with their posts, as we'll talk through in just a moment. And then the users in the app who are moving the most product come up in this top seller page. So again, it's kind of a cool kind of experiment in social commerce to see who's able to really ring registers that way. And then top users, these are the folks who are getting the most saves. This is not really curated either. It's just kind of a democratic process where if you are uploading images and hundreds of people are saving them, then you get voted into the top. And every week we have a new group of 30 who've risen to the top. So this is also something kind of cool to shoot for. So cool. Yeah, there's some new ones in here that I haven't seen before. Okay, so that's people, and then let's just move over and quickly look at my stream. So my stream this is something that you're probably familiar with from Instagram, Facebook, all the other major platforms. We really want you to personalize your Styletag experience and follow other people that are really relevant to you. So once you go through and choose the other folks that you're following, all their posts will come up in my stream. So this is another way of looking for information. You can either look through everything and get a really broad sense of what's going on, or you can hone in on what your core group is up to. So this is kind of a fun way of kind of weeding through the rest when you want to just zoom in.
But your stream should also be, it should consist of diverse people. I mean, I'm following Christian Siriano, also Karen Britchick, who's street style. So you'll see you don't have to stick to one theme and one, design type area. You can really go across all boards.
Yeah, so that's that section. So let's just do a quick deep dive through the tag cloud as well. So as I mentioned before, one of the cool things that we've developed for Styletag is a word cloud that represents the trends that are really coming up as the most prominent within the app. So when you go to the hashtag, and again, the layout on your phone is going to be a little bit different, but look for this little hashtag symbol, and that takes you to the tag cloud. Again, this layout is not the way it looks on the phone, so just throwing that caveat out there. But as you can see, it is a word cloud that blows up the biggest trends, everything from brands that are being tagged a lot to colors that are really trending, to themes, to categories. And you can click on any of these and see some of the items that are being tagged with these terms. So for example, I'm clicking on leopard. Leopard's been huge lately. And then you get taken to a page where you can just scroll through and start looking at all the leopard items that are trending. So this search tool is something that's really unique to Styletag, and we think that it's a really powerful tool if you're looking to do some research, if you're looking to browse, either getting inspired for a project, or if you're getting inspired to buy something. This is a really cool way of finding something that you may not have even known was out there. So we encourage you to play around with the tag cloud and see what you think of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else that we should go over with this, or maybe we'll go back to the PowerPoint.
Yeah, I guess that's all in the custom. We'll tell
Yeah, we'll go through the tagging process. Okay. So now that we've had a chance to look at the actual Styletag app, let's get back to the challenge itself and go over some of the guidelines. So as I mentioned, this gets kicked off on the first day of Fashion Week, which is February 6th. Before then, we ask you guys to download the app to your iOS or to your Android mobile device. You can do that from styletagapp.com, or you can just go to the App Store and type in Styletag, and it should pop right up. And then once you've got it downloaded, just create a user profile. It's super easy, the way that you'd create a profile for Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. Here's an example from Uli from Project Runway, who's one of our favorite users. She's got the most amazing sense of style. Highly recommend you guys follow her. She's got kind of a cool profile photo there too. So get creative with your profile. Definitely put in a bio that lets people know who you are and that points out that you guys are from Parsons. And to drive that home even further, if you can just include Parsons in your username for now, that's going to help us distinguish you guys who are challenge entrants. And if you choose to stay in Styletag past the challenge, you can always change your username later on, or you can leave it. It's kind of a cool thing to have the Parsons affiliation there for everyone to see. But that is a condition for entry, so make sure you don't forget to include Parsons in your username. And then once you've registered, email your full name and your username to the email address here, parsons@styletagapp.com. Thank you for our first official user over there for beating everyone else to the punch. That's great to get started early. And I would also add that if you guys, if any of you have your own blogs, or you have social media accounts, if you're on Twitter or whatever, and you use it for your Parsons work, or anything that's relevant to the competition, you can include those social media handles in the email to us. And we work very closely with the Styletag social team. We frequently push out information and images from the app to our social media platforms, just to continue spreading the word, and getting these images out into the broader world. So we would love to give you guys shout outs on social, so please send us your handles if you would like, and we'll do that. Okay, so now getting more down into the nitty-gritty. So we want you to really do your research and really work to make these images as great as they can be. So, your mission is to go out there and scout trends. Put on your Bill Cunningham hat and jump on your bike and put on your blue jacket and get out there into the streets and really, look for the coolest looking folks you can find. Scout trends in the streets, look up and down the school hallways, go to the tents, and maybe crash some shows, and wherever you can go. It's really up to you. There's no limit. Just put on your fashion journalist hat and snap photos. As you've seen, they can be either head to toe, they can be close-ups, and not just take the photos, but also make sure that wherever possible, you actually go and talk to your subjects. I would recommend explaining that you're doing this as part of the Styletag Parsons Challenge, so they don't think you're just snapping a random photo. And then use the opportunity to get to know a little bit more about them and their look. Don't be shy. I've talked to a lot of street style photographers who, maybe when they started, they were a little bit hesitant to go up to subjects and ask them. But the more they've done it, the more they realize that it's, people like talking about their style. They like talking about how they're putting a look together. And for the photographers and for the journalists in question, they get a huge amount out of getting this information. It really tells them how to put a story together. It really informs their point of view. So it's a very important part of this challenge. So make sure you're not, shy about getting out there and really talking to people. Okay, so again, as I hope you've seen through some of the samples, we really are invested in like high quality imagery. That's one of the things that we think sets Styletag apart from some of the other fashion apps that are out there. We really focus on elevated, high level imagery, and that's why we're asking you guys to, to really prioritize the overall quality of the imagery and the artistry of the imagery. You can use a camera phone, or an iPhone, or you can use one of these guys if it's decent camera and it's not going to be blurry. But we do recommend if you have a proper camera, that's always great. At the very minimum, like no blurry, like standing in the bathroom taking a photo in the mirror. Like we don't want that kind of shot, and I'm sure you don't want that, out there anyway. So really focus on creating images that you can stand behind and really be proud of. Technically speaking, we're told 720 by 540 is the minimum definition, but as long as it's, very clear and we say blog worthy, then it's acceptable.
You could focus on texture as well, the texture of a scarf, if that's inspiring you. That could just simply be photos, of yarn, but it has to really, we just want the level to be elevated.
Yeah, so that's a great point. So a lot of what you've seen so far is street style. Obviously, that's a main focus for us, but given that you guys are students at a design school, we think it's, important for you guys to have a little bit more of artistic license, I guess. So while we would like photography to be the main focus here, certainly we can play around a little bit. You guys can do close-ups of textures. You can do collages. You can do inspirational kind of sketches. Whatever you think best captures and reflects the trends that you're seeing. It's all fair game. Be creative, if you would like. And kind of, show us the, as far as you can push the boundaries. That's great. So yeah, as we've said here, sketches, fashion illustrations, collages, other artistic renderings are all acceptable. We do ask that the overall emphasis be on photography, however, so just kind of keep that in mind. And we're not going to be totally like rigid about the balance, but photography is the emphasis. And regardless of whether it's a photograph or a sketch or anything else, everything that you guys submit for this contest has to be original content in order to be eligible. So, no reposting from another site, no posting someone else's sketch. It all has to be created by you guys. And little caveat, I'm sure this is not really an issue, but just again, please make sure there's nothing that's not safe for work. We have a decency policy within the app, so just make sure that you're sticking to that and nothing indecent. And then one last kind of logistical detail. So the challenge runs from the 6th of February to March 10th. We're asking you guys to post an average of about once per day. That doesn't mean you have to go out and do this every day. You can go out and take 10 shots on one day and then stagger the posts. You can do 2 on one day, none on the next day. However you want to do it is fine, as long as there's roughly 33 posts throughout this time period.
And feel free to post something that you might have just bought or found or discovered, that's not necessarily on someone else, but there's a way to incorporate that.
Yeah, okay, so it's about 10 minutes left. So let's just really quickly go through the actual posting process. And this, we think is quite intuitive once you actually do it on your phone, so don't be intimidated. So as you'll see here, at the bottom of your Styletag screen on your mobile device, you'll see a plus sign. So tap on the plus sign, and that's how you initiate a post. It'll take you to this page, which says, as you can see, post an item. You can either take a photo, or probably what will more likely be the case is you've already previously uploaded an image to your phone. So you choose that and then go from there. Once you upload your image, you're walked through a tagging process. So this is where you guys input all the information about the the trends represented in the photo. So again, this is pretty intuitive. You just follow the prompts as you go, from the very basic, whether it's unisex, whether it's for women or for men, what category, is it a shoe, is it a bag, whatever, what brand, and here, so again, this is great because you guys can input any brand name. It's not like you have to pick from a list. If you have a friend who's created their own line and they've never, sold anything before,
Right.
but they have a brand new line, you can type in their name and then their brand exists in the Styletag database. So anything from, the big guys to up-and-comers that have
As well as
no
someone
visibility.
shop in Australia, an online, an e-tailer, anyone, anywhere is fine.
So brand, and then tag in your color. Okay, so the only thing that's a little bit more complicated is this field that's called custom. Custom is your space to be a little bit more descriptive and to talk about the trends. It's a bit open-ended, and it's kind of deliberately open-ended. That being said, in order to qualify for the competition, I'm going to give you guys a couple rules to follow for the custom field. So you have to enter at least 3 descriptive terms. So that's not just your standard black boot. It has to be a bit more descriptive than that. It has to be either a trend that's being illustrated. It has to be a texture. Has to be a fabric, an embellishment. Something
example, with these pants, you could say zipper, moto. You wouldn't just say
skinny. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, not by the mic.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just saying, for an example, if you look at the pants I'm wearing, there's other things to add aside from that they're...
Right, so Nicole's pants, you'd say zipper, moto, skinny. You wouldn't just say black pant. So again, this is where we are. Thank you for being such a good model. This is, again, where we're looking to you guys to use your fashion savvy and your kind of editorial point of view to maybe push the boundaries a bit beyond what the average user is entering. So, really, again, view this as your chance to kind of lead the pack and photograph trends that are a little bit cutting edge, and then, give us new terms, new trends to think about. And this is your place to do that. And then again, as we mentioned before, the social commerce portion of this is important to the app overall. It's kind of secondary to the challenge to be able to actually shop the items that you post. However, it is a cool feature of the app, and a lot of people are shopping from posts. So we're going to give you guys bonus points if you do take a photo of something that is available for purchase. What we ask is that you copy, cut, paste the link to that product. It has to be a specific product link, not just to a website. It's got to go straight to the product. Right. And then copy, cut, paste it into the custom tag along with your trend description. So that's this field right here.
It would look a little weird, but it comes out proper on the other end.
Yeah, so what happens is once you input the link, we then auto-convert it to a shopping link. So this link will disappear, and it will become a shoppable product. Okay, so that is the tagging process. And then once, do you want to just clarify?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. When you tag and upload an item, you can then save it to you would then be saving to a lookbook. So, for example, I have many lookbooks. Some are outerwear. Then I have some more creative ones, the rocker, biker, chic, or, you can get creative. They don't all have to make sense. They don't all have to come together. You could be interested in, some sort of Kate Middleton style in this lookbook, and then this one is all grunge. So you can really get creative here.
Yeah, and I can actually just show you. I think I have my lookbooks set up here.
I always use Kate Middleton.
I know. Yeah, so again, your lookbooks can just be, as creative as you want. Mine are more categories, but yeah, so you can just see there's space for lots of lookbooks, and you save your posts into various lookbooks as part of the app. Okay, so we are almost done. Okay, well, social sharing is pretty easy, so you guys can easily push out your images via all these other platforms, as you can see there. Okay, so with a few minutes left, let's get down to the final details and then the competition prizes. So criteria for the competition, we are picking winners on the basis of the images that you submit into your portfolio. Your profile on Styletag is your portfolio. You've got to leave it up in the app at least through May in order to be eligible. So please don't delete anything. Once you upload it, leave it alone, and we'll look at it. And the criteria is as follows. So the ability to capture trends and consumer insight is 20%. Image quality, as we've already gone over, is 20%. So that's making sure there's a beautiful composition, lighting, style. Inclusion of descriptive trend information. So that's again making sure you've got those trend terms in there. That's 20%. Accurate product information is 20%. So just make sure that you're tagging things correctly. Don't accidentally tag something as men if it's women's, that kind of basic stuff. And then quantitative requirements, as we've said, 33 posts approximately in order to be eligible, and bonus points for those live links. Yep. Okay, and now the best part is that there are 3 categories. Women's fashion, accessories, and trends. We're going to be awarding prizes in all 3 categories, and the prizes we think are pretty awesome. We wish that we could enter. Yeah. First prize in each category is $5,000. Second prize is $2,500. Third prize is $1,500, and honorable mention in every category. Plus, as we've already said, but I'll just emphasize, the in-kind prize of visibility to the global fashion community and association with these bloggers, these celebrities, these designers, and style icons. So quite a lot at stake here, we think. I hope this is ample incentive for you guys to get out there and take some really phenomenal photos. We are really excited to see what you come up with. A few more sample images just to kind of leave you with. New York is going to be your playground for the month of February and the beginning of March. So just get out there, have fun, really enjoy the challenge, and let us know if you have any further questions. We're going to be available. We're going to take proper questions in a second, but I also wanted to just give you guys again the info. You can email us at parsons@styletagapp.com. It comes to both of us, or you can also connect with us via social. And yes, and we're happy to answer any questions now, and then after the presentation, if you guys have anything else come up, just email us. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you. We're so excited to see what you guys submit.
So we have 2 microphones. I'm going to use one. Alice is going to use the other. And if you have a question, raise your hand. However, I have the first question we have over 25 students that are watching via live stream. Oh. And the first question is for some of the students that aren't able to be here, can we have access to the PowerPoint or the PDF so that I can post it?
Absolutely.
So there's your answer is absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll
leave it with you guys. And then, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take the first question from Michelle Aline. She's actually full-time faculty that's going to be teaching one of the classes that'll be participating. If you could stand up.
Hello.
The leather pants trend.
Thank you.
We love it.
I just wanted to know, there's supposed to be 1 post per day for 33 total.
Right.
What if it's not 1 per day? What if they skip a day and maybe do 2 on?
Yeah. It's okay. So we're kind of shooting for 33 approximately and an average of 1 per day, but no, we're not going to be super rigid about it. If someone posts a couple on one day and then skips a day because they're super busy or they're going to classes or they have shows to attend or whatever, that's fine. As long as there's roughly 33 throughout the time period. We just ask that you refrain from, don't wait till the end and then dump 33 photos. We want to have them kind of spaced out. So that's the only general rule of thumb, but we're not super strict about the 1 per day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just one more question, I'm sorry. Can you give us more guidelines about the questions that should be asked to the people that are photographed?
Sure. Well, I think to start kind of as a baseline, you want to just get the details on whatever you consider to be the standout item that they're wearing. So, like, for example, if I was taking your photograph, I'm immediately drawn to your fabulous hat. So I would maybe start by asking you, where's your hat from? Is it vintage? Did you recently buy it? I don't know, what else do you think?
I would
you
definitely hone in on what the main point of the photo would be. In this case, your hat's amazing.
What's the material? That kind of basic stuff, just to I think I know what it's made out of, but you never know for sure. So just kind of get the exact information.
From faux fur to real fur, all that we're interested in.
Okay.
And then you can just get a little bit more descriptive too, and just kind of say like, well, I mean, you have an amazing sense of style. You've got kind of an edgy look. Like, how did you always have this look? How did your look evolve? Just kind of get a little bit more, information on that person's overall sense of style. And it's kind of interesting to learn more about how someone's taste has evolved over time.
And
Yeah, no
and
problem.
again, as fashion students, the thing that you're trying to do is editorialize. So you want to be able to really be specific, so that who's ever looking at the images is going to want to link to yours. One of the before I get the next question, one of the things that Sasha said, which was really interesting, is even if you take all 33 images on one day, to be able to stagger them over a group of days. I actually like that idea, because what it allows you to do is look at them and then edit them, so that what you're doing is putting your best work forward.
Right.
And that's really going to be able to help you achieve that goal of great posts, as well as the prize. So who else has some questions? If you could stand up, that'd be great. And then we'll go to the other side of the room.
Since the categories are women's fashion, accessory, and trends, does our lookbooks have to be titled under that category?
No, not necessarily. We can kind of categorize when we're going through the judging. But no, your lookbooks don't have to be categorized that way. No, that's just kind of more for our benefit on the judging side of things.
Good.
Okay. And we're getting women's fashion is a category, but men's fashion isn't. So is that just like general fashion, or should we only be focusing on women?
For now, that's a really good question. We're focusing now on women's fashion just because with our launch and with the app being so new, that's what we're seeing. The majority of the people that are using Styletag are women. I mean, we certainly are starting to get a lot of really chic guys who are contributing as well, but it's not our key demographic. Just naturally speaking, it's turned out the way that it has so far. So we really just want to focus in on women's for now. If you want to submit other photos of men's fashion, that's fine. You just keep the emphasis on women's fashion.
All right, and maybe Alice can get a question from the other side of the room. Does anybody have any questions? So we got a lot on this side.
Regarding the tagging process
Can
and the
you stand up?
custom link, the custom link,
Right.
do we have to have permission from that store or that website, or it can be like Etsy link or?
Yeah, it can be anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like if you had a blog and you were posting something on your blog and you wanted to tag it to something, you don't really need permission. It's the same sort of thing. Yeah,
Okay.
good question.
Okay. My question is just I've been trying to sign up for it, but it just keeps shutting down.
Oh no.
So
What kind of device are you using?
I have an iPhone.
Are you trying to download it from the App Store?
Yeah.
Or you are? Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's just so wildly popular this morning. Do you want to come see us afterwards,
Yeah.
and I can troubleshoot it with you
Yeah.
directly? But it should be. Yeah, that's a little strange. Sorry about that. We'll figure it out.
All right, Alice is going to grab the next question.
Outside of the 33 original photos, we're permitted to post unoriginal photos, like runway pictures and things like that.
Yes, excellent point.
Yeah, I do that all the time on my Styletag account, and a lot of times I recently was on J Brand's social media. I found something very beautiful. So in the description area, I wrote @JBrands and made it very clear this is not my photo. And all the brands love that. It's actually interesting because then some of them might comment, great photo, and maybe the J Brand girls are now impressed that I did that. But whatever, you just whatever area you're doing. I mean, I've uploaded Nicole Richie, so I just say where it's coming from. There's an area within the tagging, so you would be able to describe, oh, I love this look from Pinterest, from wherever it's coming from.
And would those be considered as bonus points, or is it only the 33 pictures that are original that are a part of the competition?
That's just fun.
It's just fun, but if if you're doing a ton and they're all really beautiful and really relevant, then I mean, technically it's not bonus points, but I think we will, we look favorably upon, users who are really getting into the spirit of it, and that certainly is in the spirit of things. I just wanted to really quickly show you guys, again, this is something that's specific to the web version, but there's something down here called the Tag It button, which this isn't my computer, so I don't have it installed here, but it's like the Pinterest, pin it button. You just drag it to your browser bar, and then wherever you are on the web, you can click on tag it, and it brings up an interface to just take that image and then tag it the way that you would your own original image. So that's a really easy way to do this. You can also do it within the app. When you go through and you post a new image, you'll see that you have, okay, no, I can't do it here, but on your app, you'll see that when you go through, hit the plus sign, you have the option to take a photo or upload a photo. At the very top of the post page, there's a browser bookmarklet bar where you can type in a URL. That's the same function as this tag it. So that's an easy way to, if you're looking at style.com or you're looking at seeofshoes.com or whatever, and you want to share an image, just use the bookmarklet tool. Again, not eligible for the contest, but just kind of a fun way to, keep all your favorite images in one place.
I have a question from live stream, then I'm going to read directly.
Sure.
It says, does it mean that the more tags you tag, the better? And also, I'm not quite sure what the how the shopping tag works. If you buy something from Zara, how do you tag it?
Okay, yes, so good questions. So generally speaking, as long as there's one tag per item, that's all we really need. If you are able to tag multiple items in an outfit, that is great, because we really want to offer images and information that are as relevant and full of information as possible. So more tags is a good thing, but I mean, for the criteria that we're basing this off of, one tag per post is sufficient. For the question about the shopping tags, do you want to tackle that?
So, for example, if I were to have purchased this blazer from Zara recently, it would probably still be available. However, if I purchased it last year, I don't think the exact style would be available, so I wouldn't be able to put in that link. But let's say I purchased this, I can then go to Zara.com, or let's say you took a photo of this blazer and you said, where's it from? I say, Zara, I bought it this season. You then go on the website. When you look through the blazers, or you just Google Zara black women blazers, like you normally, would do, you then will see links, hopefully to Zara in the section, and just go straight to the product. And you'll copy and paste and put it right in. So that could be Urban Outfitters, wherever, anywhere in, the digital world. The only problem is you can't expect to see Zara if it was purchased a few months ago or from a different season. That's an issue that we do have with certain brands that, like Zara, and that continue to push out new collections. But in general, the Converse you see on the street, you'll be able to tag easily, whether it's Foot Locker, Zappos, Converse.com.
Great. Are there any other questions?
Okay. If let's say your blazer was last season, can you post a link for a similar blazer, and say that it's a similar blazer?
Can I actually answer that a little bit? Yes. Remember that, what you're trying to do is really look to the latest trends. So if someone has already seen something in Zara last season, I don't know that that's going to be the most exciting thing that you could possibly post. I think what you're really looking for is street fashion, someone who has an incredible sense of style that's unique, that you can see it as inspiration. So it's not about this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's not about this is a pretty blazer from Zara that I bought, with all due respect to Zara. It's about what is new, what is exciting, what is the next thing, what is going to be, trying to identify the next I have to have it or I'm going to die piece. That's really, truly the goal. So anything that we've seen at Zara 2 seasons ago or even last season has already been mass produced. So I don't know that that's necessarily the case, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that's a perfect answer.
I think you're right.
Excuse me? That's a really good question. Loud, stand up.
What about vintage?
Vintage is totally fair game. I mean, obviously, vintage is a huge component of how people put their looks together. So, certainly tag it with all the descriptive information as you would anything else. And then, if someone's able to tell you where they scored it, whether it's from a vintage store, a flea market, their mother's closet, I mean, that's all interesting information too. And again, just to reiterate that actually being able to purchase something is, that's kind of cool if it happens to make sense for what you're shooting, but that's just a little bonus and is certainly not, the main emphasis here. So really it's, as James said, it's about finding trends and then kind of
and just
letting that dictate.
And
your
also really
submissions.
being able to, as emerging fashion students, most of you are here because you have an eye for something. So if you see something that's vintage, trying to really figure out what is making that so intriguing and being able to articulate that through an image as well as through some of the editorial or the text, as you
Yeah,
mentioned,
absolutely.
the keywords.
Absolutely.
And it's still okay to tag if somebody's wearing the hat and it's all about the hat, to tag her favorite black pants. She may have had them for a few seasons, but they work for her, they look great on her, they're comfortable. That's all great information, brand information.
I think you probably need the microphone, right? Oh, do that first.
All right. Can we be the ones featured in most of the pictures? Can I feature myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
All right.
Absolutely. Feature yourself. You can feature your best friend. You can feature your family. Yeah, anyone that you want who's got great style.
In the category section, if you guys are posting something and you don't see the category pop up, you can create it. For example, ponchos. Ponchos is there, but if it wasn't, you would be pressing return and it would register and come in.
You had a question, but you need the mic, right? Oh, here comes James.
All right, who else has a
In the
question?
front
Sure,
row.
stand up. I got it.
How broad is the accessories category? Because hair and nails have become such a big part of people's looks, but is that not really included, or?
Well, yeah, we've been kind of debating internally on this too. I think just because there's so many other options within accessories,
Right.
we have to draw the line somewhere. So we're keeping beauty out of it as far as the judging goes. Certainly, if you want to submit those images, for other things, just to kind of fill out your profile and share the imagery, that's great. But for the purposes of judging criteria, we're keeping it strictly to accessories. But I agree, it's a huge area.
But I would also imagine if you were able to capture that bag for accessories and you were able to also get the woman's nails that were fantastic in that image, it's just going to drive your point home, you know?
I mean, for example, we've got, right, there was an image that we just saw. Yeah, I mean,
There.
okay, so her nail art in here is not super funky or anything, but, a lot of people submit images of like a necklace where they're also wearing like bright fuchsia lipstick or something, and it's kind of a cool way of doing that at the same time. Yeah.
Or
yeah,
for the
exactly.
rings, we see punches all the time. It's
Oh, right,
cute.
people do that a lot. Yeah, but that's a very good point, and it's something that we're trying to figure out how to potentially like capture that area as well. I mean, fashion itself is such a broad area that we need to, just for ourselves, not even with the competition, stay focused. But yeah, certainly this kind of overall look is, people do consider the beauty part of it.
Okay,
as
we're going to take
important.
the last few questions because I know, because it's orientation week,
Yes,
there's another
it's
group
11:15.
coming in here. So who has a question that's got this burning desire that needs to be answered? Anybody else? Even if you've asked the question, it's fine. So you're all set?
Great.
Yeah?
Cool.
Pretty confident? And I want to thank you again. This is super exciting, and it's a
you.
great opportunity for the students.
Thank you guys. Great. So we'll leave you with the PowerPoint so you guys can look over this and kind of refresh your memory as you go through. Again, email us any questions that you might have. Sign up, create those profiles, and let us know that you've officially registered.
And I will email everybody so that they know where the PowerPoint and the live stream
That's great.
video is so that they can access it and go back and review.
Cool.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you guys. We can't wait to
Thank you.
see your submissions. We're really excited.
Follow us on social media.